What if I told you that in 5 years, every movie trailer, every ad, every meme video you watch was made by one person in 10 seconds from their phone? That's not a hypothetical anymore. Google just announced something at IU 2026 that most people completely slapped on, and it's going to fundamentally change how humans create things. It's called Gemini Omni. And before you go, okay, another AI video tool, stop. Because this is different. This is actually different. Let me show you why. Here's the thing nobody talks about. You type a prompt, it spits out a video. Cool. But the video looks like a video an AI made. Weird physics, floating objects, faces that melt if you look at them wrong. And the second you try to mix your own footage, your own voice, your own photos, the whole thing falls apart. That's because those tools are doing something very simple under the hood. They are stitching things together like a college. They are not actually understanding what you gave them. Omni does something completely different. Google trained this model, a single neutral network, on text, images, audio, and video simultaneously, not separately, and then combined together from the start. So when you give it a photo of your face, a clip of music, and a text prompt, it doesn't stitch, it reasons, it understands the relation between all three and generates something coherent. The result, videos that understand physics, that understand culture, that understand context. One prompt, 5 words. A claymation explainer of protein folding. Omni didn't slap a clay texture on some random shapes. It generates a full stop motion style video, the kind that looks like a production team spent a week on it, complete with a voiceover walking you through how amino acid chains fold into alpha helixes and beta sheets. From one sentence, the model understood claymation as an aesthetics. It understood protein folding as a concept. It merged them into something that makes sense visually and scientifically at the same time. That's not autocomplete. That's not pattern matching. That is genuine understanding, and it changes everything about what one person can create. Here's where it gets personal. Literally, Gemini only lets you create a digital avatar, a version of you that's not model store, and drops into any scene you can imagine. Want a video of yourself winning an Oscar? Done. Walking on the moon? Done. Standing next to a T-Rex while dramatic music plays? 10 seconds. Now I know the first word that just popped into your head. Deepfakes. Google anticipated that, so they built verification directly into the creation process, not as an afterthought. You record yourself, speak a series of numbers out loud, prove you are a real human being. The avatar get logged to your account. Only you can generate you. And every single video made with Omni, everyone gets embedded with Google's Synth ID watermark, an invisible digital signature baked into the footage that tells anyone, anywhere, whether that video was AI generated or not. It's not a perfect solution to synthetic media. Nothing is right now, but it's the most serious attempt any major AI lab has made to build accountability into the tool itself from day one. Let's get real about the money side of this, because the consumer stuff is fun, but the actual earthquake is what Omni does to professional creative work. Think about a brand campaign, TV spot, social cuts, regional variation, different languages. Right now that takes months. A production crew, a post crew, color grading, music licensing, talent casting. You are looking at hundreds of thousands of dollars minimum, and that's when everything goes right. With Omni, one creative director, one product image, one brief, and they can generate the whole campaign. Google specifically called out something huge here. The models, text rendering capabilities, logo, slogan, product label, they render accurately inside the video. That has been one of the hardest unsolved problem in AI video generation for years. Garbled text, wrong font, ladder shift and morph. Google is saying that problem is solved. That's not a small update. That's the entire $750 billion global advertising industry is staring down a cliff. And filmmaker pre-visualization, the process of roughing out shot before you ever roll a camera, it's about to change completely. Director can prototype entire sequences in seconds. Thus, this short work goes from a days long question to a 10-second answer. Here's the part that should make your jaw drop. Everything I just described, that Omni Flash, the lightweight version, that consumer friendly one, capped at 10 seconds, built to be easy, built to get into as many hands as possible. The version Google hasn't released yet is Omni Pro. They described Pro as a step change above Flash, not an incremental improvement, a step change, and they haven't told us what that looks like. They only said it drops when they feel like it's cleared that bar above Flash. So everything you just saw at I/O, that's the floor. The API, meaning any developer in the world can build product on top of this, drops into coming week, which means the real creativity explosion hasn't even started yet. Because the most powerful use cases for this model aren't going to come from Google. They are going to come from a 22 years old in a bedroom somewhere who figures out a workflow nobody else thought of. That's always how it goes. Let me zoom out because I think people are going to miss the bigger picture here. 3 years ago, Google announced Gemini with one thesis: build a single model that genuinely understands the world across every format. Not a text model that also does images, not a video model bolted onto a chatbot. One mind that thinks in text, audio, images, and video simultaneously, the way humans actually experience reality. Most people thought that was a vision statement, a someday thing. Omni is the proof it was always a plan. When Sundar Pichai says AI is moving from predicting text to simulating reality, that's not a keynote line anymore. That's a technical description of what this model is doing under the hood. It's building a world model. A system that doesn't just generate pixels, it understands what pixels mean, what they represent, what the world looks like, feels like, sounds like, and once you have that, the gap between imagination and creation basically disappear. One person, one prompt, any idea. That's the world Google just started building. And this, what we saw this week, is only the beginning. Anyway, what's your thoughts on this? Tell me in the comment and I'll see you in the next one.